Right now, it's day 2 of the Democratic National Convention. The tone is expected to flip from the past to the present. The focus is now fully on Vice President Kamala Harris and her campaign for president. Thanks for joining us at 4. I'm Ty Steele.
And I'm Andrea Flores. High-profile speakers are expected to be on stage tonight to lay out their personal endorsements for Harris's candidacy, and that includes former President Barack Obama.
And we have live team coverage of that convention. Let's start with KCRA3's Gulston Dart anchoring our live coverage live in Chicago. Gulston, what's it like in the United Center today?
I got to tell you, Ty, they just keep amping it up from day 1 to day 2. They gavelled in about a half hour ago, and they've already had 2 amazing musical acts play. Patti LaBelle, who's 80 years old, just bringing it with a beautiful song. And then they had Common just a few minutes ago, who's a good friend of the Obamas. So things are getting pretty funky here at the United Center. We do have a little bit of breaking news to tell you about here in Chicago. There's been a bomb threat in an area of central Chicago that's targeted several hotels with pipe bombs. So now there's even more security, if you can imagine that, here in this area that has a major police presence already. No bombs have been found, no one's been hurt, but we'll keep monitoring that. But like you guys mentioned, tonight it's about Barack Obama, Michelle Obama. Of course, they are beloved here in the Windy City, and they'll be the final 2 speakers tonight, as well as the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff. A lot of people will get to hear from him for the first time as he talks about his wife as she makes her way to the candidacy for U.S. President. Now, earlier today, we want to show you this. California delegates were treated to a number of top national and state political stars at the Hyatt. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, who was a possible vice presidential candidate, spoke to the crowd. So did Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. But many Democrats were still processing what President Biden said in his late-night fiery speech to cap off day 1 of the convention, especially a personal perspective.
About last night, just how impactful it was, just your thoughts with Joe Biden, kind of his message, kind of a goodbye message, but a be strong message.
Yeah, definitely. Last night was just so energizing, and I thought that President Biden gave a really, really powerful and important address. He talked about democracy, the importance of protecting our future and our rights. And he talked about his record and what the Biden-Harris administration accomplished over the last 3 years, and to remind us of what he inherited when he walked into office. I thought it was such an energizing speech. I thought that he was on point, and I was just really thrilled to hear from him.
To that point, just as a human being, because he's the president, but he's also a human, did you feel something for him?
Absolutely. Having his daughter introduce him, the napkin in his hand, having his family out on stage. We know how important family is to President Biden. It was just a very emotional speech.
Well, by the way, Kamala Harris is not here in Chicago tonight. She's in Milwaukee with her running mate Tim Walz. They're campaigning there in Milwaukee. But we're hearing that she'll be addressing the convention here via live stream there on that big screen you see later tonight around 8 o'clock. So we'll try to get that. It should be pretty interesting when the crowd gets to see her do that. Guys, back to you.
And Gulston, tonight delegates will vote to make Kamala Harris their party nominee. It's a ceremonial vote, of course, but things will be a little different tonight, right?
That's absolutely right. This has never happened before. For the first time, California will be the last state to cast its vote for a Democratic presidential nominee. So don't freak out when they're going through the roll call and they go from Arkansas to Colorado. It's on purpose. They'll put California at the end. It's basically an honor that's granted to the home state of the nominee, which Kamala Harris, obviously, from California. Minnesota will be the second to last to cast its vote. And then in honor of Joe Biden, Delaware will be the first to vote to honor, again, his legacy, and then to vote for Kamala Harris. By the way, a little interesting bit here. Governor Newsom is expected to speak from the convention floor to deliver those final California votes that will put Kamala Harris over the top for her nomination for President of the United States from the Democratic Party. So it should be quite an emotional and energetic moment when that happens. We're reporting live from Chicago. I'm Gulston Dart, KCRA3 News. Back to you guys.
Yeah, a lot of California California on the national stage tonight. Golston, thank you so much. And tomorrow we will hear from Vice Presidential nominee Tim Walz. He's expected to accept the nomination during his speech at the convention. And today, Sacramento Representative Doris Matsui shared her excitement about the VP pick.
Walz is fabulous. He's just the right kind of person. He's fabulous. I mean, he's done everything as a person who's lived a life, a middle-class life, and having struggles of his own. But being a school teacher, understanding what all that means, and being a mentor, and being the coach, right? But also, you know, he was a member of Congress. I know him, and he was always the regular guy. Never the person that goes out there and makes speeches all the time, but does all the work. He was chair of Veterans Affairs, and absolutely wonderful.
Security for the convention remains a top priority for both city and federal law enforcement. Crews have put up another line of security fencing near the United Center. More streets were also closed down. This comes after protesters broke through the outer security fence yesterday.
It was a brief breach. There were demonstrated tactics applied to remove some of the locks from the outer perimeter fence. Moving forward, we do expect to see more protests, more demonstrated tactics. Again, we're up to the challenge.
And officials say the inner perimeter was never breached and there was no threat to any of the DNC delegates. Chicago police arrested 13 people.